My definition of family has always been the people that have been related to me, my family that I'm born into.
Family, of course, is always the American style, is your family, and a church family in a way, but your real family is your children and siblings.
I think about my family, my people, my inner circle, my husband and my children, maybe my relatives, my brothers and sisters.
The most basic definition of family usually includes your mom, dad, siblings, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins. The grand expanse or intimate circle of people with whom you live or are related. So when it came to selecting a location for Maranatha Volunteers International's Family Project, a mission trip to celebrate this very idea, how did we end up at a place for girls without just that? A place where children are rescued from the very people meant to protect them. This is a story about family, the ways we define it, find it, and create it. About how we grow into new meanings of belonging, community, and love. And it begins at a school in the town of Kajiado, Kenya. The Kajiado Adventist School and Rescue Center is a safe haven for Maasai girls who have had to escape child marriage and female genital mutilation.
The Maasai culture is one of the very old cultures within the Kenyan society. And for them, what they value most is their cows and the boy child. So the girl child is more or less like a property to be disposed of as and when, they're ready for.
Girls as young as 3 years old can be matched to a husband and then married off at 9 for a dowry. But before that, they must undergo a painful and dangerous ritual of female circumcision. All of this is illegal in Kenya, but it is a common practice in remote Maasai villages where such laws are difficult to enforce. But some girls run away or they are rescued by advocates. This is how the Kajiado Center was founded more than 20 years ago. A group of Seventh-day Adventist women started the ministry to help these children in need. The first dorm at Kajiado had 13 beds and 13 mattresses. And from there, the ministry grew into more beds, a cafeteria, a school, and hundreds of girls. Over the next 2 decades, the school supported nearly 2,000 girls. But as the enrollment grew, there wasn't enough room or infrastructure to accommodate the students. Since 2018, Maranatha has been expanding and improving the campus. From new dormitories and bathrooms to brand new classrooms, staff housing, offices, and a new water system. Kajiado has been evolving into one of the best campuses in the area. In December 2021, Maranatha returned to Kajiado for the 12th volunteer project to take place on campus. This time, the task was to build another dormitory, and 67 volunteers signed up, each with their own expectations of what a mission trip could do to transform the lives of the students and their own families.
What I wanted my family to gain from this experience was, first of all, perspective, that the world doesn't revolve around them and their wants and their desires and their small problems.
And I want my boys to recognize that we are beyond privileged. The things that we take for granted are treasures here and much of the rest of the world.
And then the thought of introducing cultures and experiences outside of our, comfort in America and the kids' experiences at home, we thought that would be such a rewarding thing for the kids, just that they can learn from and learn about serving others in ways that they don't always get the opportunity to do at home.
And I think we wanted to open up the idea that your spiritual walk is about giving and reaching out to the rest of the world wherever God puts you.
When we come back, the project and the transformation begins. On December 20th, just 5 days before Christmas, 67 volunteers arrived on campus to begin work. And from the moment they arrived on campus, change started stirring in everyone's hearts.
Pulling up to the Caggiato Girls Rescue Center was impactful. It was overwhelming. And I felt God's presence as we got off those buses and seen them. It was pretty special. I think coming through the gates the very first time here, knowing that God sent us on this trip. I was telling the girls, I had never been on a trip where God told us to come here.
After orientation, volunteers immediately started block work on the new dormitory. With move-in day only a week away, the team worked quickly to build the walls of the structure. But construction wasn't the only way volunteers cared for the girls. There were several ways volunteers got to contribute. Not too far from the buzz of the construction site, Michael and Emily Giddings were busy working in a classroom that had been temporarily converted into a dental clinic.
My wife and I are in the dental field. I'm a dentist and she's a hygienist. And we've done dental clinics on every project that we've been on. We have also been part of the construction, which is very rewarding as well. But we feel that we have an opportunity to share with people that are professional skills that don't have access to dental care routinely.
Doing the dental clinic here at Caggiato has been unique from other experiences that we've had. Mostly when we have gone to other places, it's mostly adults that we have seen. Sometimes people will bring their children, but then the parent is always there with the child to kind of encourage them. And so not having that here has been very different. Particularly for Mike, I feel like there's an apprehension. And coming from traumatic experiences, I think it's even been harder for the girls to open up. Definitely tugs at your heartstrings, just to think of people, these beautiful children, not valued is really hard. But it's wonderful too that you can give them a hug and you can give them a smile and you can tell them good things about them and that you can touch them hopefully in that way.
Just 100 yards from the dental clinic, Greg Howell, a pastor and photographer, was taking portraits of each student for a unique outreach activity.
Other than a mirror, they never saw what they looked like. And that's kind of an unheard of thing in the world of selfies in America. But the idea was to give them a 5x7 in a little frame, something that they can look at and say, this is what I looked like when I was this age.
For younger volunteers, Maranatha provided a day camp, an opportunity to engage in various activities for outreach and cultural education. They helped Pastor Melissa with a week of prayer at Caggiato. They took a beading class taught by the girls at the school.
Tell her a joke.
They learned about soapstone carving and decoration. They went shopping in a local marketplace and used the ingredients to cook local food. They planted vegetables in the new Caggiato garden, which will provide plenty of fresh food for the girls. One volunteer even helped to dedicate the new Maranatha well, drilled to provide water for the garden and the local community. And best of all, they made new friends.
When I met the girls, my first impressions were that they were super sweet, very touchy, which I had kind of prepared myself for, but they were very, very sweet, like some of the sweetest girls.
And these sweet girls got the surprise of a lifetime when Maranatha announced a special Christmas gift sponsored by the volunteers: a safari.
And all 40 cars are going to go to Amboseli National Park.
It would be the first field trip for all of them and their first safari.
It's around 6 o'clock and we are getting prepared to go to Amboseli for a view, and we are so many in school, so we are high in number, but we're surely gonna be there. I'm so excited for this journey. I've never been to a safari, but this seems so cool. I love it.
After the safari, the girls were treated to a special meal with a view.
Okay, today I'm so happy. Actually, I'm so excited because I've seen a lot of animals that I usually see only on TV. And I'm very happy. I've seen so many animals. Yeah.
Bobby Vedvik is one of the volunteers who helped make the outing possible.
My heart for the girls, you know, hearing they wanted to go on a safari and that some of the funds weren't coming in that were pledged, I thought, you know, I still had money. And so I thought, you know, I love these girls. I want them on this safari. So that's where it went. Yeah, and hearing them being happy and grateful, that's all, you know, I just bought the best present in the world. You know, that's my Christmas present.
When we come back, we'll hear how serving at Kajiado is changing lives for everyone involved. For many of the 67 volunteers on the project, it was their first time on a mission trip, and expectations were high.
Ever since they were really little, I have always planned on bringing my daughters on a mission trip. I thought just to be able to take them outside of themselves and see what else is out there beyond their lives that are so secluded in Little Bend, Oregon. I've heard about Maranatha a little bit through the church, other members that have gone on the mission trips with you guys, and how really family friendly it is. That's what I was looking for with bringing my two daughters, because we've never been out of the country, and I was nervous as a mom would be.
But all of that anxiety melted away as soon as the project started.
Knowing that God had his hand in every step of my girls and I getting here, and having them as the focus the last 6 months on trying to get ourselves prepared to be here, and then walking in and having that greeting and seeing their faces and knowing that God works so much behind the scenes and through Maranatha for us to get here to see his children here. And seeing the joy on their faces and the excitement.
Emily's joy only increased throughout the week, not only as she got to know the girls, but as God opened the eyes of her daughter, Allie, to the purpose of missions and her part in it.
Can I tell you a little story about my daughter? So Allie, my older one, she wanted to bring her ukulele. That's her treasure, to play that. And she brought it, and she's been using it and singing with the girls. And she the other day says, "I can't take this home, Mom. I have to give it to the girls." This is what I wanted for my kids. Sorry. I wanted my kids to not be selfish and have kind, giving hearts like these girls have. And the girls here at the Kajiado Rescue Center are impacting my kids in a way that I can't teach them. They're teaching my kids so much. And to see the Holy Spirit working in my kids and these girls and in all of us at the same time is pretty precious. It's something I can't teach my kids. But this does. It's worth every penny to get here and every worry as a mom to get here.
Oh, I love your shirt. Is this your birthday outfit? I love it.
But it's not just teenagers who are changed by the experience. And the big moment of change doesn't necessarily happen only on your first trip. For Enes Mushoshi Chibaya, a big moment of revelation came on her third project with Maranatha. She had committed to going on a mission trip every year. In summer 2021, she was slated to go to Peru, but it was canceled due to COVID.
I didn't get to go to the Peru project, and so the next available one that matched my schedule was the Kajiado project. I didn't know much about Kajiado, I just kind of read a little bit about it, and I just said, well, I will go.
At Kajiado, Enes' understanding of the place deepened as she got to know the girls.
During that first project, I would spend time in construction in the morning, but I would sneak away in the afternoon and go into the girls' dormitories and just sit with the girls and just talk about health, just the general things.
3 girls in particular connected strongly with Enes, talking to her day after day.
We shared, or they shared with me, some of their heartaches, some of their wishes, some of their longing. And, as a mother, I started to think there has to be some things that you just would wish for your mother to provide, or. So I started asking them, what are some of the things that the school doesn't provide that you would wish you could have? For 3-4 days, I would come back and I would ask them, where is the list? You girls, you haven't given me the list. Well, 2 days before our project was up, I asked them, I said, well, girls, we are going to be leaving. I need your list. Do you not have a list? And all 3 of them looked me in the eye and said, we don't really want anything. We just want to call you mom. And I didn't have to think twice about the answer. And I just said, sure, you can call me mom. And they just got up and they embraced and hugged me. They wouldn't let go. There were so many emotions going through my body, through my mind. I think it becomes a moment of transformation. And I was expecting that they were going to ask for material things and to realize that the innermost desire of another human being is the sense of belonging, the sense of having a mother. It was a transformation moment for me.
She was the first friend that I met from when the volunteers started coming. She was the first friend that I met. Then we talked. I was free. I feel like I'm free when I'm talking to her. Yes, I feel that freedom. I don't fear anything. I tell her everything. That's how she became very special to me.
I call her Mom Ines because she felt like a mother to me. And she's just loved us the same way a mother can love a daughter.
Enes promised to keep a connection going by sending messages through the school and vowing to return. And in December 2021, less than 6 months after her first visit, she did just that.
When the first girl saw me, she was in line doing the welcome, procedures for welcoming the volunteers that had come back. And I could tell that she could not contain herself. But as soon as she finished participating in that welcome ceremony, she ran and just embraced me and just started crying. And I could feel her shaking in the embrace. And all she said was just, thank you. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for coming back. As I have grown older, I've realized that family is more than your blood. My definition of family has changed from being concerned about the nuclear family that has the same genetic makeup to anyone that God places into your life and entrusts them to you. But at the end, the idea of family being that place where everybody comes together for nurturing, for love, for growth, for building each other up. That's family to me.
For Ennis, this was more than a mission trip. It was a family reunion. And for the rest of the volunteers, it was about the creation of a family. One that is unexpected and so much broader and richer than we could have ever imagined.
There is something bonding when you have to work together, when you experience things outside of what you're used to together. It kind of unifies you in a way. And it's to look around, the thing that keeps going through my head is we are all a family. These girls are our family. We forget sometimes that we are all the family of God. We are all His sons and daughters.
Your family is something precious. It's where you, despite who you are, you always can come and to be together.
To me, a family is a support system. We have our traditional families where we have our own children, but we're there for each other as a support system, for love, for emotional support, for physical needs. A family can be anybody that we can support.
Family is people that you can love, surround yourself with, trust, people who will always have your back no matter what.
For me, a family is it's like a group where where people have unity, they have love, and where you can get comfort, peace. When you need help, you can get it there. And so a family doesn't only have to be the ones who are related to you by blood. They can be people from outside, but they care about you and they want you to feel loved and to feel that you're part of them.
Ultimately, this family is what the gospel is all about. That family of God that unites us for a common goal.
I think God's goal has to be that same goal that He gave the disciples when He left them. Go out, teach them the things that I taught you. Love them like I loved you. Sacrifice like I sacrificed for you.
I think when Christ commanded us to go ye therefore, I really think that that calling was not just to preach the word, but to live the word. And I think mission trips and mission projects are another way of ministry, except you are not on the pulpit. I think they're an opportunity for us to show Christ to the world, sometimes without saying a word, but with our acts of service.